Let's start at the top of our mat, standing. So find a standing position where you can bring the big toes of your feet to touch with a slight sliver of space between your heels. Okay. Now from there, lift your toes for a second, and you'll notice that the arches of the feet start to engage. You actually lift off the inner arches. Okay. Once you feel that lift, place the feet back down, spread your toes, look down so you can see all spaces between the toes. You can probably see your mat between all spaces between the toes. Now, from there, lift the quadriceps off the kneecaps. So squeeze the quadriceps. And then find a nice neutral pelvic tilt. So you don't want to be too arched and you don't want to be too tucked. You want to be nice and center. So we have a nice strong base here. And then from there, take your hands to your heart, prayer position. Lift the crown of your head and take the back of your skull back. Close your eyes. Start to sense your body in this position. You may notice that you're swaying a little bit. Start to feel the floor underneath your feet. Start to feel the engagement of your muscles in your legs. The lifting of the arches. From there, squeeze the quadriceps so you feel them lifting off the kneecaps. And then look down at your toes, lift your toes for a moment. You'll feel the arches of your feet engage. That's what you want here. Okay. Lower the toes down to the floor, but keep them spread so that you can see the mat between all spaces. Now, from there, finding a nice pelvic tilt. You don't want to be too arched or too rounded. So think about finding a neutral to where your hip bone and the back of your pelvic rim are in one line. You can usually find that by placing your thumb and index fingers around your pelvis. Okay. From there, lift up so that your spine is nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back. Lift the crown of your head, and now think the chin slightly draws back so the back of the skull presses back against an imaginary wall. Let the palms face forward, thumbs face out, close your eyes. Take a moment to feel yourself standing in space today. We'll be working through standing postures. So start to feel the tone in your legs almost immediately. Feel the quadriceps engaged. Feel this upward motion, this upward engagement through the midline of the body. Keep the legs strong, shoulders pulled back, crown of the head lifted so the spine is nice and tall. And now begin to pay attention to your breathing. Notice the flow of your breath. Notice if your flow of breath feels deep or if it feels rigid. How can you begin to smoothen the breath out with each inhalation? Start to find those deeper, slower, longer inhales through the nose. And exhales that allow your body to just soften in this strong pose. So bringing this quality of ease to the breath while keeping the body strong, keeping the posture, keeping the pose. Take about 2 more breaths in, 2 more breaths out. Bring your hands together at your heart. Press the palms into one another. Start to feel the engagement in the chest muscles. Slowly start to tuck your chin, and as you gaze behind the eyelids at your fingertips, start to just flutter the eyes open. From there, inhale your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring them right back down to heart center. We're going to start with a Surya Namaskar B, so a Sun B position, Sun B flow. So we start Sun B in chair pose. So as you inhale, sit your hips back, bend your knees, and reach your arms forward and up. Lifting through the heart here, lift the crown of the head up, and try not to overarch the back. So we're keeping the ribs pulled in and the knees behind the toes. Take one more inhale, lengthen the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Just hang out here for a moment. Start to sway, maybe the body sway, maybe grab for opposite elbows. And start to feel that decompression in the spine almost immediately. On your inhale, hands to your shins, halfway lift, flat back. Pull the shoulders back, reach the sternum, the crown of the head forward. On your exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back, high plank. Now it's your choice here what you want to do. You can either take the knees down and come all the way flat to the mat, or you can flow through chaturanga. I'll show you both. So taking the shift forward in the body, lower the knees, bend the elbows, come all the way down. Point the toes back, push the toenails into the floor. Inhale, lift the chest for cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press your hips up and back, downward dog. Keeping the heels lifted, the knees bent. Pedal out the feet a few times, first down dog of the day. Rolling the triceps back, biceps forward. Okay, right away for Sun B, inhale, right arm, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to nose, step your foot through, top of your mat. Lower your back heel down to the floor. Inhale, arms up for warrior one. Exhale, hands back down to frame your front foot. Step your front foot back, your back in plank, and then flow through your vinyasa. Knees down as you exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step the foot through. Ground the back heel. Lunging into the front leg, inhale, arms up, warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands, step back. This time let's move through chaturanga if it's accessible. Inhale, lifting up, upward dog, keeping the body lifted, pushing into the palms. Exhale, downward dog. One more. Bend the knees, look forward, breathe in. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Find a forward fold. Inhale, lifting the heart halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Chair pose, arms forward and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Float through your version of vinyasa, either knees down or chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up, either cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up for warrior one. Exhale, step it through. Lower the back heel, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back. I'm gonna choose chaturanga right now. Inhale, lifting up, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg high for warrior one. Exhale, step it through. Ground the back heel, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step the foot back, flow through your vinyasa. Downward dog. Perfect. From here, we're gonna move into a crescent or a low lunge. So inhale your right leg up. Actually, no, take that back. Okay. From here, let's find the top of the mat. So bend the knees, look forward, breathe in. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. From there, inhale halfway up, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Finding chair pose, bend the knees, sink the hips. Chair. Exhale, hands to heart, stand up tall. So from here, we're gonna move into low lunge. So coming at this top of the mat, we're gonna find a forward fold right away. From there, lift up through the heart. Find a halfway lift. On your exhale, plant your hands, step your left leg back, and float your left knee to the floor. Okay. So we're in a low lunge. Now, if the mat that you have is thin and this is not comfortable for your knee, you can always fold the mat in half, okay, and find extra cushioning. You can always use blocks here as well, if you have them, okay, to help bring your body upright away from the floor, okay. I'm gonna just show this without blocks to start, but just know blocks are always useful if you have them. Okay, from here, untuck the back toes for a moment, and let's just take a second to feel out the hips. So depending on how tight your hips are, you may need to almost walk your back knee forward or walk your back knee back. So just kind of feel out how that feels in your body. Your front toes are facing forward and your fingertips are down on the floor. So we're in a low lunge here. Again, if this is too much, you just take this a little bit, you take your back knee a little bit more forward. Now in low lunge, we're gonna come all the way up with the arms. So think about scissoring the thighs together. Once you have that activation, inhale the arms straight up. On your exhale, sit a tiny bit deeper in the hips. Keep thinking about drawing your back knee towards your front heel and your front heel towards your back knee. Tailbone draws down towards the floor. Take another breath in. On your breath out, hands come back down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, breathe in, lift the back knee up now. On your breath out, step forward, top of your mat, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, second side, fold, step your right leg back. Lower your right knee to the floor, untuck the right toes. Right away, start to feel out if this positioning is okay for you. If you need to take your back leg back a little bit more, you get more stretch in the hip flexor. You want to take it a little bit more forward, you'll get less stretch, it'll be less intense of a pose. Okay, from there, start to scissor the thighs towards one another to activate through the pelvis. And then from there, arms sweep forward and up for low lunge. Think about the sides of the body drawing in towards the midline, belly button pulled in, front ribs pulled back, tailbone towards the floor. Take another inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, tuck the toes, back knee up. Exhale, step it forward, top of your mat, fold. Halfway lift now, inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's work on crescent lunge. Chair pose, inhale, sit the hips back, arms forward. Exhale, fold, step your left leg back. This time, we are staying up on the back knee. So right away, find hips width distance with the feet. The front toes are facing forward. This knee is directly over the front heel. The back leg is gonna be nice and strong. That's gonna be our base. So firm the back thigh as much as you can. Think about the back inner thigh rotating up towards the ceiling. Okay, from there, firm through the core, so draw the belly button in. We're gonna rise up with the arms reaching towards the ceiling. So arms up on the inhale. This is crescent lunge. The back heel stays lifted here. Bend a tiny bit deeper into the front leg and hold. Find your breath, find that steadiness and that ease. Remember, the back leg is nice and firm. Take one more breath in. On your breath out, hands come down to frame your front foot. Look forward, lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Chair pose, inhale, drop the hips, bend the knees, arms forward. Exhale, fold and step your right leg back. Right away, find hips width distance with the feet. Roll the left hip back and the right hip forward, so we're trying to square off the hips. Now right away, find this front knee directly over the front heel. The back heel stays lifted, but the back leg is firm, so you want to think this thigh pushes up Back leg is straight. Now start to connect to your core. Draw the belly button in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower the hips. Try and keep the back knee straight. If you don't have the mobility there, you can slightly bend. Front knee is nice and bent. Tailbone is drawing down. Low belly is lifting in and up. Take 2 breaths. One more breath. Fold forward, hands to the floor. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, fold forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale and fold. Push down with the feet. Inhale, root to rise, arms reach tall. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Okay, we're gonna work through a couple new standing poses. Warrior 2, extended side angle, reverse warrior, and triangle pose. So we're gonna work through those poses from a standing position from the top of our mat, and then from there we'll kind of build into a flow. So starting at the top of your mat in Tadasana, hands come to the heart here, bringing the feet to touch or keeping them separate if you feel like you need a little bit more space in the low back. Okay. Starting in chair pose, so please bend the knees, arms reach forward and up, chair. On your exhale, fold forward here. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, step your left leg back. Find hips width distance with the feet, and now lower your back heel down. So look at your feet, they're about heel to heel alignment, okay? You're gonna bend this front knee and firm through the back leg. So really, really firm through that back leg. Push the back heel down into the floor. Your toes are turned in at about a 45-degree angle. Now, from there, reach your left arm forward. Breathe in. On your exhale, cartwheel the arms up, reach them front and back of the room, or back of your mat. So right fingertips reach forward, left fingertips reach back. Okay, now notice here that the spine is nice and tall. You're directly over your hips, and the front knee is pretty bent. Now the idea is that you want to get it really, really bent to where the front thigh is parallel to the floor. That comes later, and that comes with strength. So reaching the fingertips out to a T, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears, and look over the front fingertips. Keep pushing into the back heel, and keep leaning forward into the front knee. You want to feel strong in the legs, but light in the upper body. Now from there, flip your palm and inhale, reach up and then bend back. Slide your left arm down your back leg, but try and keep the weight off the back leg. So you're leaning forward into the front leg and you're reaching up, up, up. This is reverse warrior. We're stretching all through the right side rib cage here. Take another inhale, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, warrior 2 once again. Taking the heat out of that front leg, let's go inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up overhead, bring the palms to touch. Exhale, reposition your legs, warrior 2, bend that front knee. Inhale, straighten, touch. Exhale, rebend. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Moving into extended side angle. So inhale, start to reach your fingertips forward. Keep the legs just how they are. On your exhale, take your right elbow to the front thigh. Let it rest there. Roll your shoulder head back into the shoulder socket and lift your left arm up here. Flip your top palm and reach it forward. So now your bicep is right by your ear here. Now from there, letting the right shoulder roll down, draw the belly button in, push firmly into the back leg, and lean a little bit more forward into the front knee. Now this is level 1. You want to take this further into level 2. You'll take your hand down to the floor or to a block. Extended side angle. Gaze goes forward or down. Now from there, push down into the front foot, use your left side obliques. Inhale, take your left arm alongside your body, flip your right palm, reach it up as you straighten the legs for reverse triangle pose. Legs are straight, arm is reaching up and back. Exhale, bring your hands front and back. So legs are nice and straight here. Now you're gonna walk your back foot in just a smidge. Look at your feet, your hips with distance, you're about a heel to heel alignment with your feet. Arms are reaching out front and back of your mat. Firming the legs so that the quadriceps feel nice and firm. Spread the front toes. We're gonna move into triangle pose, Trikonasana. So reaching the fingertips forward here. So just shift the hips back. Shift the hips back. Keep the front leg engaged. Keep reaching until you can't reach anymore. Once you find your depth, take your right fingertips to your right shin, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. It is key to keep the legs engaged. So the legs are what's holding you up. You're not dumping all your weight down onto your bottom shin. In fact, if you have a block, use your fingertips on a block, okay? Or just let your arm hang. So what's holding you up is your side bodies, okay? And your core. Gaze can go forward. If you want to complete the pose, gaze goes up at your top thumb. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Hug your right hip underneath you. From there, we're gonna move right back into reverse triangle. So look down, push into your front foot. Inhale, reverse. Right palm reaches up and back. On your exhale, hands come to your hips. Face the front of your mat. Start to walk your back foot in just a smidge and turn your hips forward so your right hip rolls back, your left hip rolls forward. Hips are square. From there, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down to frame your front foot for pyramid pose. Okay, so in pyramid pose, we want to think that the right hip is drawing back and the left hip is starting to draw forward. We're keeping the back heel pushed down and the front toes spread. Okay, navel is pulled in. Fingertips are on the floor, or if you have blocks, blocks are really, really helpful in this posture. Okay. Now continue here to square off the hips by drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward, but also think about keeping the spine nice and straight and the crown of the head reaching forward. Now once you feel good here, roll the shoulders back, take an extra breath in. On your breath out, firm the thighs, maybe you fold over your front leg. It's totally okay to bend the front knee, totally okay. Take another inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Exhale, step your left leg forward, find forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Chair pose when you're ready. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right leg back. Float your right heel now to the floor and look down. You're about a heel to heel alignment, maybe even a little wider. We're moving into warrior two. So bend this front knee here. The back toes are facing about a 45-degree angle. Roll your left hip back, your right hip slightly forward. Inhale your right arm forward, lengthen through that whole right side. Exhale, come all the way up, cartwheel the hands, find your warrior two. So warrior two is a pretty big stance of a pose. So you want to be about 3.5 feet apart with the feet. Heel to heel alignment is a pretty good alignment for a level one. You want to take it more traditionally, it's about a heel to arch alignment. Okay, now from there, start to bend into that front leg a lot, okay? And then firm that back thigh. You really want to straighten that back leg. Bring all the weight into the outer edge of your back foot. When you're ready, extend the arms out to a T again. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and gaze over the front fingertips. You hold here, finding that gentle balance between steadiness and ease. So the legs are strong, but the upper body is soft. From there, moving into reverse warrior, flip the front palm. Inhale, reach up first, then start to bend back. Gaze goes up. Exhale, come back into your warrior two. We're gonna flow dynamically a little bit through these warriors. So as you inhale, straighten the legs, bring the palms up to touch. Exhale, come right back down into your warrior two. Inhale, arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, right back down into your warrior two. Inhale one more time. exhale. This time, inhale, reach forward. As you reach forward, you'll notice that the hips start to slightly shift back. You're increasing this hip crease here. When you're ready, take your left elbow down to your front thigh, reach your right arm up, and then take it forward. So this left shoulder wants to hike up into the ear. Roll it back, pull the front ribs in, and hug the back hip underneath you. So your whole body's in this side angle. Your gaze can be directly forward, or it could be up, or it could be down, depending on what feels good in your neck. Okay, again, there's always the second option of taking the hand down to the floor. This is a little bit more advanced. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in, take the right arm back, straighten the front leg, inhale, reverse your triangle, reaching that left arm all the way up and back once again. Exhale, hands come to front and back of your mat to a T. Walk your back foot in about 1 footprint. Look down at your feet, make sure they didn't shift. You're gonna take a heel to arch or heel to heel alignment here, okay? When you're ready, belly button pulls in. Squeeze the legs, spread the front toes, reach forward, breathe in. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up, 6 and 12. Now again, important to really firm through the core. So you're drawing everything in and you're hugging this front leg hip underneath you. So imagine that you're in between 2 panes of glass here. Right, the top fingertips are reaching up. You're not dumping your weight into your bottom arm. The neck is nice and long. Squeezing the legs. Take 1 more breath in and 1 more breath out. Look down at your front foot, push down, inhale, reverse triangle once again. Counter that stretch. Okay, exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Turn your hips forward to square to the front. You'll need to walk your back foot in. I've migrated, so I'm just gonna move back a little bit. Okay. Pushing the ball mound of your foot down, start to turn your right hip forward, your left hip back. Okay. From there, arms up, inhale. Preparing for pyramid pose, exhale. Take your hands down to the floor or onto blocks. I'm gonna use blocks since I did them on the other side. Okay, once you're in this position, draw the left hip back a little bit more, right hip forward a little bit more. You're gonna feel the hips closing. Okay, the back heel stays down. If you need to bend your front leg, please do. Chest is forward, find a flat back, breathe in. Breath out, fold. You can always bend the knee. Take 2 breaths. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step your right foot forward, top of your mat, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Push down into the floor, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. From there, we're gonna just come down onto the mat for a couple of cool down postures. So we did a lot of hip work in these standing postures, a lot of hamstring work, a lot of hip work, a lot of leg work. So we're just gonna counter stretch a couple of the poses we just did, and then we're gonna have an opportunity to come into Shavasana and rest. So come onto your mat and slowly lower onto your back. From there, you're gonna take your heels back so that they line up with your sit bones. And then you're gonna reach for your heels and touch your heels. Once you can touch your heels, okay, you're gonna walk your feet forward like 2 inches. Okay. Now from there, spread the toes, push down evenly into the feet, scoop your tailbone so that the spine is flat, and slowly inhale, lift your hips off the floor. So this is bridge pose, level 1. You want to take this further and complete the pose. You're going to just roll one shoulder underneath you and then the other shoulder underneath you, bringing the shoulder blades together. Now, if you can get the shoulders merging together and back. You're gonna interlace your fingers together and push down into the arms. Push down with the wrists. Keep scooping the tailbone towards your heels. Keep the belly button pulled in. You'll feel a nice stretch in the front of the hips. We're also working the back body. Breathe 3 breaths here. 2 breaths. 1 breath. Slowly release the arms and slowly slide your spine back down to the floor. Perfect. Windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. Always a good idea to find a twist in the spine. And then go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Press the right knee out. Now from there, flex the right foot and inhale, take the knees into your chest. Sweep the arms through the thighs and interlace the fingers around the left thigh. Okay, so we're in this figure 4 thread the needle posture. You're gonna feel this all along the right outer hip. Keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. Soften through the face. It may feel nice to sway a little bit side to side. Find a positioning where you feel more of a stretch and maybe stay there. And then go ahead and switch the legs out. Left ankle over the right thigh. When you're ready, take the knees into the chest. Notice the difference in the sides. Keeping the left foot flexed. Sliding the hands through, interlacing the fingers around the right hamstring. And then if you found some movement on the other side, go ahead and find it here. And then go ahead and release that. Take the knees into the chest for one final squeeze. Breath in, breath out. Relax the legs long, relax the arms long by your side. Shoulders rolled back. Shavasana.